Da 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 dee, 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 dee. Playing with two young boys. Play it. Da 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 and sunsets. Da 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 da. Playing with a boy. Unbelievable what's happening here. I have a rare. Oh, that's the background. I'm only on my 400 or 500 show, and every time it's different. Ladies and gentlemen, it is November 29th, 2020, the year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus, Hieronymus Christ, 2024. It's the day after Thanksgiving. Many fake jobbers are home today. Many people with fake jobs. And I have a fan favorite returning to the show. If you watch the show, you know, ladies and gentlemen, he's an absolute star, a man of the people here in Stamford and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bowtied Bartender joins us.
Glad to be back. Feels great.
Now, you've been clamoring, and you never stop texting my phone. I got to get on that show again. I want to be on that show. Would you say, where does this rank? Put it in order, top three podcasts. Joe Rogan, Sports Mass Collective, Tim Dillon, let's say.
Well, my only Patreon money goes to this broadcast.
Right.
You know, the rest of them could fuck off. You get my $3.19 monthly.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And many others. The numbers, I mean, we talk about it here all the time. The numbers on the by the way, folks, it's right there. Get it out of the way because we don't beg for money. Or patreon.com, Ski Mask Media. And you could Venmo my accountant at DaveD23, and I'll give the Bowtied Bartender some of that money. And definitely not give it to Ski Mask, who got in a fight with a fan on the show last night, apparently. But this is...
Wow, I love that. I love that.
I guess Ski Mask did a show last night. I was busy doing bullshit, and I guess he had a fan on to talk, and then it took a turn. I don't know.
Thanksgiving night fight on the podcast? That's
well,
special.
You gotta watch for you and everyone else. Ski Mask told us earlier this week that he got a a fist fight with his father recently, and his dad beat him up. And then
so he's too, man.
Oh, he's a big yard dog. He's a millionaire. He's an oil man down in Texas.
Yeah, those guys
and
don't fuck around.
no, he doesn't fuck around, and he has to put his retarded son in order. So I'll check in with Ski Mask tomorrow on what he did. I think said he's going to get turkey cold cuts and go eat them on a beach in Galveston, Texas. So hopefully Ski Mask got a wonderful Thanksgiving. I had an okay Thanksgiving. What did you do? The same fucking crap?
I enjoyed my Thanksgiving with immediate family. It's just me, my dad, my brother, and then his wife and two kids. It was lovely. My brother can cook his ass off. Traditional Thanksgiving. Turkey was great. He makes the best stuffing. I texted him today, and I was like, I need that stuffing recipe. That would literally be on my death row menu.
Shout out Suge Knight.
Yeah, he uses sausage in the stuffing. Genius.
So what I did, I just asked. I don't actually listen when people talk. That's why I don't usually have guests, because I have ADHD, and I mostly just, in my head, I'm just waiting to talk. So that's wonderful, whatever you said. And yesterday, I went to my Haitian-Irish girlfriend, or lady caller, I like to say, in Queens, and I did an untraditional Thanksgiving of Tony DiNapoli catered Italian food.
As soon as you told me you were doing a Haitian Thanksgiving, my mind immediately went to they're eating the pets.
They're eating pets.
They're eating pets. They're eating the cats.
Well, it was beautiful cats and marinara yesterday.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, and I know this is such a hack, folks. I know this is a hack, and it is a sports show. This is a Whalers hat. This is a Newport shirt, unplanned
Newport
Bowtied
hat. I walked
Bartender.
in and was just like, whoa.
Traditional Thanksgiving food can pretty much go screw. I'm glad I ate Italian food yesterday. I have Italian food for Thanksgiving, Italian food for Christmas Eve. How was your turkey prepared? Is everybody like to fucking, I put butter in my turkey, I fried a turkey, I brined it. Oh yeah, I don't care what the fuck. Just eat something else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest turkey fan in the world, and I don't think anyone with a straight face can say that, like, oh my God, I love roasted turkey.
I've never heard someone say, "Oh my God, I love turkey."
Yeah, it's definitely no one's top 10 of foods anywhere. Cold cut turkey is the elite turkey of any turkey, but yeah, I
Yes.
don't know. Like I said, my brother could cook. I don't know
Brother
exactly
can
what he
cook.
did, but he definitely like loosened the skin and put stuff under there. Because when you look at it, you could see like the bay leaves and herbs and stuff under the skin, and when you cut it open, it was like moist. I know you're a big moist guy.
Moist.
Yeah,
Love a
it was-
moist.
It was certainly moist. It
Now,
was
your
delicious.
brother-
It was great.
Your brother, his brother knew me. These people are well aware of my special ed days back in 3rd grade. That's when I met the Bowtied bartender's brother, and then we terrorized someone who actually had mental disability, unlike me. I was there for behavior and special ed, of course. I'm not retarded. However, we were with a David Calvin, shout out if he's still alive. We used to bully him until he cried, me and Bowtied bartender's brother. Classic stuff. Classic. You know the type. It was the classic kid who, I don't know, we didn't call him autistic back then. We just called them losers, and we bullied them until they, disappeared. But he would get the boogers coming out. He would always have boogers coming out of his nose,
Yeah.
and when he got really mad, he would cry. I mean, the best people to bully.
Dry boogers on the nose is like
No, not
dead
dry, just a
giveaway.
wet, just a wet green booger always. Classic stuff. Now, this is
Yeah.
a sport.
Jesus Christ, you're pretty proud of yourself for bullying this fucking mongoloid kid. That's terrible. Like, here we are at 40 and we're just reminiscing on glory days of just absolute.
It is. It's actually unbelievable what
Terrible
happens out
behavior.
there. Let me just make sure. If you're going to comment, at least super chat it, or else I don't know if I could ever see it, but we'll check the poor people chat. If you want it read immediately, make it a super chat. But otherwise, I will check you poor people. I'll check in with you poor people intermittently. But before we do that, get into gay sports, and they are gay. Oh, Noah's here. Noah, the one-eyed dog.
Lisa Left Eye.
A year to the day, he got his eye brutally ripped from his head. Sports. This is a sports show. I just remember. Oh, I am having some tequila with Celsius. Cheers. Having a few.
Pumpkin beer, tis the season.
Tis the season. Have you noticed that, by the way, sports, I have to say that intermittently.
Sports.
To hit the algorithm, I have to say sports. What do you think about, have you noticed like Christmas lights go up after Halloween now? It used to be Thanksgiving. After Halloween, it was Christmas. People putting Christmas lights up.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I was having big beef with people that swear they all know. That's like the thing people do now too. Everyone knows the answer to everything. Where it's like you could just Google it and see that you're wrong, but they'll
Right.
fight you. And I'm like, Thanksgiving is just always the
Pretty
fourth
much
Thursday.
this whole
That's what it
network
is.
is
Everyone's
about
like,
that.
no, it's always this. No, it's the fourth Thursday. Look it up. So the 28th is the absolute latest it could possibly be, and that's what it was this year. It gives us less than 4 weeks till Christmas. I'm a put my Christmas tree up on Thanksgiving morning kind of guy.
Fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's traditional.
This year I put it up on Tuesday, which is felt like that should have been Thanksgiving time. And but people are excited to put their Christmas stuff up. Can't blame them because I'll tell you what, man. I put my Christmas tree up. I don't know how to explain it, but it just instantly puts you in a better mood.
I do love.
You sit in the
I
house.
love a tree. I
great.
love the lights. I love a Christmas light. I am a sucker for that. I know I'm a woman saying it, but I'd love a Christmas light year round, especially when doing marijuana type of drugs. It's very nice.
It's just very super.
Real tree? Would you get Douglas fir?
No, I got a fake tree. I go through one every about 2 or 3 years.
Sure.
I got myself a nice new one last year.
How nice? What are we
white
talking?
lights. we're talking
500?
white light. It probably should have been, but I'm a bargain shopper guy, so
Right.
I got it on the cheap. But yeah, it's nice. It's got the fake snow on it. Very full looking. White lights, just very classy.
Ooh, it was snowing in Queens on Wednesday night, if you know what I mean. Now,
Oh.
folks.
Oh, it's a cocaine joke. Cocaine joke.
Oh, well, yeah.
Got a buzzword
well,
that'll flag us.
Two days.
Sports.
No, you
sports,
can do whatever
sports,
you want on this channel, and we're after 10 minutes, so you could say every word. Thanks to Shane Gillis, you could pretty much say whatever you want now. Retards, and we already talked about a retard.
Yeah,
I
make
believe.
comedy great again.
Although I don't love that Bud Light commercial. It's
No, I actually saw that yesterday, and I was like, "Come on, man!
Yeah,
you don't do Bud Light commercials."
yeah,
They had to write a fat check to get them to do that.
oh, the check was fat, all right.
Had to be.
Now we used to play. And I've touched on these before in this over the 96 episodes. But I talk about our pickup football games that we used to play as actual boys against other boys, of course.
Full on tackle football.
Full on tackle football.
No pads. No helmets,
pads. We're not gay.
but we played.
Often 11 on 11. Often full games. And I credit where credit's due. You were always a mainstay at quarterback for one of the teams. It was usually you and Andre Brown.
Oh yes.
And who was the other? Who else dabbled?
Well, slinged it.
Who else?
We'd bring out some random boys. We'd get Mike Vartuli. He would show up down
Oh,
there.
yeah, name
We'd
drop.
Get a couple guys. Yeah, there was comers and goers.
I remember-
as we got older, new guys came in.
And this is great, just in name names all the time.
Yeah.
I remember the Bacino brothers once played quarterback together in the O line, or D line, I should say. Me and the legend Rob Ha and Julio, who just we made them cry. We sacked them so many times. They did a rage cry. That was a classic.
Original, live in the flesh. Rage
Comedian Scott Yeager also used to play in those games,
yeah,
and he would often
yeah.
be full of rage, and he would.
full of rage.
I remember
Some
the
meltdowns
legendary quote, "Who's 6'6" now?" After my dear friend Andre Brown sacked him, and then Scott Yeager, who was a failing comic, ran it into the end zone, and he said, "Who's?"
It's terrible. That's just a terrible thing.
Oh, we're having fun. It's a retarded comedy, folks. Comedy,
successful.
sports. Is he successful?
Yeah,
Unbelievable. You also, and again, you've been on this show before. These people that follow the show, obviously, you're loyalists. A lot of people keep notes of every show at home, of every show. We have 96 shows now. You are in the legendary Good League, which I've covered. I cover fairly often here. 25 years in, 24 years in now.
This has to be our 24th year. Next year's our 25th.
Fantasy Football League, folks. 12-man, no bullshit, one quarterback.
Still have kickers.
Still have kickers.
On them back. They were voted out, but got voted back in.
Well, we submit
Tale
to
as old as
democracy.
time. Yeah.
We submit to democracy, unlike 2020. If you
Yeah,
know
I
what I
know.
mean. It's fine, folks. We're gonna make it great. 2 more months. TikTok, call ice. Anywho, we're gonna clean it up. We're cleaning it all up in about a month and a half, folks. Don't worry.
Wow, 90. Wait, you're at 96 episodes?
Yeah.
That could put your 100th episode right around January 6th.
Woo.
That would be a classic day for a 100th episode.
Whoa.
Put it in the
I'll do it
books.
live from the steps
Put it in
of
the books from the steps of Stanford Town Center.
No, I'll go down to DC. I'll do a live stream. I'll fucking I'll walk in freely.
I think we just stormed the Stanford Government Center
Yes.
and broadcast from there.
January 6th. Oh, it's a Sunday. It's a football. Oh no, it's a Monday.
Oh,
Yeah, it's almost even better.
January 6th, big Monday night. Oh, yeah. I think we
You got plans?
No, we're gonna go down there with sweatpants on
Yeah.
and pop a couple
Careful.
Friday plans. And we go down there and we say it's an insurrection.
In SIR.
Yeah, we're
like
insur.
inside of
Yeah,
I'm
inside of a
insert.
guy, inside of
And we have
buns.
erections.
And we have erections. We're having an insurrection.
I often walk into CVS with erections, but that's a whole other thing I don't care to get into.
It's a very horny place, CVS. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out CVS and Greenwich Ave, and I'm sorry.
Pick up the morning after pill and just get fucking horned up all over again.
Sure. Yeah, those the kids, you know what makes me sad nowadays? Sports. Actually, this is sports related. Driving by when it's beautiful weather out and seeing empty fields and empty courts, I just remember as a young lad, like an empty field that wasn't being used was like gold.
Yeah.
Whether it was to do dumb shit, to play a football game, or a court to play basketball. I just remember an empty athletic field was like gold to come by. I remember we would drive around some of those football mornings, and not these people. I don't have to name the names because that's ridiculous. But we'd drive around to the different schools and try to find one that wasn't being used. And nowadays, I don't know. I don't see kids playing pickup football Do you?
No, they play like batted online and they talk shit and they're tough and they just run their mouths. And it's like we used to be able to bring you on a real field, pop you one, and really talk shit to your face after.
Right.
And then you'd be humbled and it would change you for the better as a person.
Exactly. I think David Calvin, who I mentioned earlier, the retarded boy, I believe, he's either doing tremendously well or he unalived himself. But he's probably doing very well.
I'd like to think that somewhere he's thriving and
he might be he might actually be a viewer. I mean, he could be AC/DC for all we know.
He could have started Facebook.
We'll get to the poor people chats in a minute. Thank you. I like the active people. Chat is lit. Show is lit. Yeah. Well, everyone's gay. Sports. All right, I guess we can actually get to sports. A couple things before we're deep in the thick of it now, folks. NFL Week 13, already 3 games under the belt. We'll get to the football in a second. Did you see? Now you like Barstool.
Oh yeah.
You like the boys.
Big pro boys.
I'm anti-boys mostly. You know this, and these people know this. I'm mostly anti-boys. I used to be more Barstool, and now I don't like. They're a bit old and gay, but whatever. It's also just fun to not like things other people like. That's pretty much my whole thing. Wow. And but now, did you see Paul Bissonnette got jumped, quote unquote, by 5 guys?
Yeah. Well, I saw the whole story. I actually very much respect that guy's handling of the situation. So, did you hear the whole story?
Go ahead, tell the people.
Basically, so as a restaurant person,
because as you might guess, I am on the side of the guys that jumped him. But go ahead. So I'm currently in a huge Twitter beef with everyone at Barstool. They're all going nuts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that
like Paul Wall said, I got the internet going nuts. Anyway.
This guy, so anyway, he's basically at a restaurant that he frequents often.
For those who don't know, sorry, Paul Bissonnette's an ex-NHL player who now is a Barstool and ESPN commentator.
Yeah, ex-hockey player, tough guy.
Yeah, he's tough.
But a nice guy. Goes to this restaurant regularly. No, I don't have to meet him. No, he's nice. This story makes him a nice guy. He was.
Well, you are. I mean, we're not going to.
Restaurant guy.
I have ADHD.
I'm also at the point where I'm like, if guys are acting up, I'm not trying to have physical altercations anymore. I'm 40 years old. Just don't want to deal with this shit. Basically,
have you ever gotten into? We covered it in your visits past. Have you ever threw down with Ray Rice in the past when he used to frequent?
Ray Rice is an absolute gentleman.
Oh yeah,
I'm a big fan of that guy.
Is he still poking around, or what's he? I remember he was in
a while. His daughter's getting a little bit older. He stopped going to the bars as much. Well, there was a summer where he was frequenting the rooftop quite often. We'd let him hang out after hours. His
Sign of the Whale in Stanford, by the way, free plug.
Yeah,
the hottest.
Big Christmas decorations up right now.
Oh, great drinks. Anyway, lots of girls to have sex with.
He was at a restaurant. These guys are being drunk assholes. Basically, what they're telling them is like, hey, we don't have seats for you at the bar. I can't have you just standing around drinking in the restaurant. Just wait for us to find you a table type situation. One of the guys was berating like the assistant manager, and it was like pointing in his face and all this stuff. And it was going on for a while. And then Paul kind of just stepped in and was like, hey, like, let's cool it. But I think that the way he went about it was like a little too tough guy. He was like, hey, if like you want to beef with someone, you could beef with me outside. Now this guy was already intoxicated, had a crew with him, went outside. He basically like jumped him. He got in a big fight, and yeah, I mean,
that's pretty much it. Very well done.
But yeah, he was basically just trying to stick up for somebody that needed help, and they're not his friends, but he's friendly to them. He's a regular there, and I mean, in my 20-plus years experience, I've seen guys like that, too. They're protective. It's their place. We become somewhat friends with these people. And, yeah, they want to do right by us. They want to stick up for their territory. And Yeah, I think.
Well, I, for one, wish those gentlemen finished the job. But why don't you mind your own? I don't like his whole thing. Why don't you mind? And I also work in the soccer ball comedy clubs, as we say here on this program. We call them the soccer ball comedy. So I also work in the nightlife, if you will, sister industries.
Yeah.
And I understand. I understand what everybody's saying. I understand what he's saying. But also, it looked like a family. It looked like it looks like dads and some kids who got in their bag a bit, and they were mouthing off. Just let them mouth off and leave. This guy as an ex-professional athlete. Literally, part of his job was fighting, and he beat up a couple geriatrics and a couple drunk kids. I don't think it's anything to be proud of.
Such a wild spin on the story.
Yeah.
Dads and kids.
Yeah,
They were
look
like
at their
five-
picture.
they were like
I'll pull the
5
picture.
guys
Everybody,
up top.
people won't stop.
I thought it was like 5 dudes like our age,
No.
not like dads. I mean,
I
this is a hot trend of dads fucking people up.
heard, wish they
Ski
finished the
mask.
job. Here, for the fuck. Here, look at dads and kids. This is the truth. This is what we do here at Ski Mask
Oh,
Media.
wow, yeah, this is
These are the geriatric.
that is not how I was picturing. I honestly was picturing like some like Buchanan, fucking Darien, like 25-year-old dudes just hammered.
No. I'm on the side
Maybe
of
some
reality.
lacrosse athletes or
you know,
something.
Mr. Bartender, they call me, I don't know if you knew this, they call me Stancil Stradamus around here because
Yeah.
I preach the truth and I often say things before they happen. There are 3 old men and 3 drunk kids, and they're all drunk. And this literal ex-professional athlete takes it upon himself because he's so full of himself because he's on ESPN. And like, you're the one who's going to handle this, not any other loser that's there. And you're going to take him out. Oh, yeah, what an achievement, Paul. You know what, Paul, if you want the link, text me. I know you'll watch. Hey, Paulie, Biz, they call him at your gay bar stool. Biz, if you want the link, I'll send it. And by the way, I'll ruin you fucking too, Biz. You want to fucking, look it. Fuck you, Paul. I hope those guys find him and finish the job. Rack me. There's a guy wearing a dead weasel on his hat. We have the Wisconsin game on. Sports. You're a big Wisconsin guy. This is the show.
Guy. I'm a Nebraska
Oh,
guy.
same
No,
colors. I'm
Wisconsin-
sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Wisconsin's a rival, somewhat.
Now we're gonna get to my, and I have ADHD if you didn't notice. We're gonna get to other stuff later. That's literally how everything happens. But I do a segment later in the show where I go over college football scores because I always say college football sucks, and I think you're aware of my stance on college football. Would you like to get? So I never really talk about college football.
Respectfully disagree. College football is elite. I think the 12-team.
I'll prove it. I'll prove it in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna go over what the spreads and see.
No,
how
I
big the
just
spreads are, and
read the
that's-
scores from last week.
Yeah, but there's infinite amount of teams. There's like 160
Okay.
college teams.
All right.
The SEC just
Any
produces
team in the
NFL talent.
here's my stance in a sentence, and we can have a healthy debate, a great debate, masturbate, and
Bastard debate.
I constantly interrupt myself.
So
Well,
yeah.
No,
college
wait a
is
minute.
not
I didn't
bad.
say
It's
my
not
se-
bad. College is not bad product. It's great football. All the teams
no,
aren't.
it's largely not great
They're
football.
not. I mean, the NFL is terrible to
No.
watch. It's penalties. The entire game is dictated by the refs. College is not like that at all. And even if they do want to throw a flag for pass interference, it's only 15 yards. It doesn't drastically change the game. If you throw a ball in the end zone, they're not spotting it at the 1-yard line and giving you a touchdown.
Why watch? I don't watch AAA baseball. I watch Major Leagues. I'm not going to watch the farm system on Saturday when I could watch the real thing on a Sunday, where on any given Sunday, as Al Pacino once said, any team could be in a. The Raiders might be the Chiefs today. It's not a. But if you have a University of Irvine of Charleston playing Oklahoma, they're going to win by 90
Yes and
billion.
no. The upsets in college are 100 times greater than the upsets in the NFL. No one goes nuts if the Raiders beat the Chiefs today.
I'm gonna go absolutely
But
wild.
when Vanderbilt beats Alabama, they go nuts. Like nuts. And it does and it can happen. It doesn't happen all the time. The spreads are crazy, but there are crazy upsets in college, and those are special moments. That doesn't happen in the NFL. You don't get those special moments. You get penalties and just absolute bullshit calls.
I just want to shout out these guys one more time. Team these guys. Fuck Paul Bissonnette, you pussy. Something that just came over the wire. A quick aside here, of course. Matt Zuccarello ruptured his testicle after taking a hockey puck to the groin. Protective cup had massive dent in it. Ever break your nuts? You broke your nut at a little Casey.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out best bar in America, Casey's Tavern. No offense to Night of the Whale.
Yeah, no, we're more of a
You're more of a
we're
venue
more of a
restaurant.
I don't like
Right.
using us as a bar.
Would you agree Casey's is the best bar in America?
Casey's is elite. I like Casey's
It's elite.
a lot. It covers a lot of bases.
Mhm.
A lot of
We talk
bases.
about Casey's often here. People love
Like
when I
it's
talk about
off the beaten paths. You don't get riffraff walking off Bedford.
and you have the
Street.
regular, you have
Destination.
enough regulars where it's a bar, but then you do get some, as you and we, frankly, may or may not know, you get some random ladies in there. They're usually ladies of the night.
Pink high heels, pink fuzzy crop top sweater. I was all over that. That was fantastic. Yeah, but they have an ample amount of dartboards. They have Magners. I mean, if you can go in a place and they still have Magners.
It's a real bar.
The cap.
It's a real bar. I
real
think that's the
bar.
thing.
It's
There's
a
a lot
bar.
of aesthetic corporate bars nowadays.
Kitchen open late too. Like I
Kitchen
love
open
that.
late. Shout out to G and you know who is there? And I don't really. Nobody else cares about this, and I don't care that nobody cares about it because it entertains me. But you know who was there? I ran into last week. Do you remember Louis the barback from way back in the day? Luis.
Yeah, of course.
He
He
was-
was at Fiesta, right? Wasn't he bartending at Fiesta?
Maybe after that, but he was there. That's for the three people that know what I'm talking about. That's
Last
a
time I
big
saw
deal.
Luis, he was bartending at Fiesta.
It's a
Love
big
that
deal.
place.
All right. Anywho, where I was getting to something. Oh, I once on that nut breaking story.
Oh yes, I've gotten hit in the nuts hard. It sucks.
In college, these people all know, all-American lacrosse player, not a big deal at all. I played in a game. One of our attackmen ruptured his urethra. He got hit. A kid shot it. He wasn't looking. He wasn't wearing a cup. Ball hit him in his groin and ruptured his urethra. Had to get rushed to the hospital.
Jesus Christ! Like I mean, that's
Ryan Burke. Shout out. If you know Ryan Burke,
Terrible.
he has a broken urethra, ladies.
terrible.
We name names here.
But yeah, I'm a pussy. I wear a cup. If I do adult softball, I don't care if I'm playing out. I'm wearing a cup. Like I got hit hard and must have been 10 or 11 years old, maybe 12. I got hit. What I at the time was hard enough where I'll never not wear a cup. I wore one for football. I wore one every baseball practice, game, softball. I never played sports without a cup.
I hated wearing them, and then I had a game in college, blah, blah, blah. I was playing defense at X, no big deal. And but it's pertinent to the story because when you're playing X, the back of the field is behind you, and I just turned around, to look, because that's what all Americans do. And just by chance, he had shot it before I turned around and hit me squarely in my twig and berries. And ever since then, I started wearing a cup. But that was like
You're a pro cup on this show.
Pro cup.
Pro cup.
Pro
boys.
cup. Cupertino.
Only way to make more boys is keep the twig and berries.
All right. Well, I suppose we can get into some sports.
Yeah, there's some sports. We
We
got
can get into
NFL
the
today.
football. We got
Raiders,
NFL today.
Chiefs
We'll get to that.
Amazon Prime suck on the corporate teat.
Yeah.
What they're doing is stealing sports. That's
Shout
what
out
they're doing.
Bezos.
Oh, now you have to have this subscription to watch this game, and what a terrible game! Who gives a shit? I could go on with my day and not watch this game and not bat an eye. However, Nebraska, Iowa tonight.
Oh, that's
Massive rivals. Great game.
right. So I cut you off because I'm a
Great game.
terrible host.
Defensive battle.
I'm a terrible host, and that's why I
Nebraska,
never.
Iowa, 7:00 tonight. No.
I meant to give you the
implications.
floor for a minute. My point with all that was I never followed college football. Literally, I never talked about it other than to bash it on the show. So if you would like to take the floor, not to promote it, but what is going on in the season, tell me and the people what is going on, who's number one, who's going to win. I don't know anything really.
There's some great stories going on. If I told you, like, walking down the street and you're like, I know enough about college football, like, historically, if I was to tell you that Alabama is not going to be in a 12-team playoff, crazy. They have 3 losses. They're done. They're out. Army is awesome this year. They just lost to Notre Dame pretty bad at Yankee Stadium, but that's a story. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like it sucks. It sounds like it sucks. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Sounds like it sucks. Sounds like I'm right.
He'll be playing on Sundays. Dylan Raiola.
So the biggest story is the team isn't making the playoffs. Is that what I'm getting?
Alabama they've been in the playoff every single year that they have had playoffs, and they're not going to be in it this year.
It sounds like college football sucks. I'm going to be honest with you.
No, it's great. There's 12 teams in, and there's some teams you wouldn't even imagine. Deion Sanders, Colorado, they stink.
Oh God, I can't. Can we stop talking about? Can we stop talking about Colorado and Deion Sanders? Those thugs, as your brother would say.
They're probably gonna have the first 2 picks in the draft this year out of Colorado.
Talk about chains and work boots and saggy pants. Am I right? Now we got a super chat.
Those are NFL players, man. Those are. What do we got here?
Drug or not, $5. One of my old pals I went to high school with died on the field during practice. Was a huge deal at the time.
Of course it was. I mean, it's a huge deal now. He died on the
How
field.
are you not going to tell us what he died? You don't have to super chat at Drug or Not, but at least tell us.
We need the whole story now. Like, I hope it wasn't like the last Boy Scout. Like,
Poor people chat related. Ski Mask is dying. I think he is. He said he was going to go live earlier if he didn't pass out first. So I assume he's drunk and drinking again. He may have.
I want to see the shiner that his pops left him, or was he wearing the mask for padding? If the mask was off,
he did on the show last week. He wore a mask to go buy. He wore it live on the show and went into a store.
Do you think
the
his
guy
dad
was like,
let out a lot of rage? Like, you fucking wear a ski
Yard
mask?
Dog, call in. Mr. Shack, call in. Sports, thanks, Corndiff. ACDC, a beer. Let's go through the poor people chat, and we'll do another round later.
Corn, you see? Corn, you think that's a Nebraska guy? Where the corn?
Oh, yeah.
He
No, he's a guy who wears a piece of corn on his head.
I have a corn hat.
I can't even explain it. You have the corn hat?
I have the corn hat. Yeah. Keon got it for me for my birthday.
Shout out Keon.
Shout out Cove Beach Grill. Shout out 80% of the Subways.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Is he still a Subway boy? Is it inside baseball?
His dad is an OG at Subway.
Mm-hmm. OG.
Beach Grill. We still call it Pat's Hubba Hubba.
Oh, remember Pat's Hubba Hubba?
Yeah, it'll always be Pat's.
They still have in Portchester, right?
Do they?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Portchester.
Is Kelly P as happy as I am? Bears fired coach Eberflus. We'll get to the games yesterday in a second.
Yeah,
not much to talk about there.
Got canned.
Get that poodle off your head. Are you talking about Noah?
No, he's talking about your hair, dude.
Oh, this is beautiful hair.
Yeah,
my hair's doing
blazing, flowing locks. He wants those off your head.
A lot of people are jealous. It's fine. Bartender with Jim. Tommy's just saying facts. Since Ski Mask is dying, this is all correct. The Bears fight that coach. No support there. Fat Sam Tripoli. Oh, I was at the gym this morning, obviously, and I thought of what was the name I thought of for a great conspiracy podcast? Fuck! I meant to tweet it.
Those are called ideas. You have to put them in the notes in your phone right away. I'm a big
ideas. I do that when I go smoke, as I will as soon as the show is over. I have running notes.
I do it for work all the time when I have like an idea for like a promo. We call them ideas.
How great is weed, by the way? Can we just say
fantastic cure all? It helps everything. It makes everything better.
It really does.
Literally everything better.
It really does. Sports, of course. It really does, and it doesn't. You'd think you're a little bit older than me. I'm about to be 39, and I love I don't know if it's the nostalgia, whatever you want to call it. I enjoy rolling a blunt or a J or hitting a pen. And it just doesn't. It is just good. Wisconsin. Jump around. They're playing jump around.
Show me things that don't happen in the NFL, and it's the entire crowd jumping up and down, actually excited about their team because it means something to them, and they're not just picking an arbitrary.
Yeah, these people go to the college. I don't want to see a guy that went to
fan because they're local to me. I like them a lot.
What? What do you have? What are your ties to
My
Nebraska?
family's from fucking Nebraska. My grandfather went there. Like, there's like a reason to root for it. Like, it's centralized. It's local. It produces things like where an NFL team just exists. They could bounce whenever they want. Players come and go. What's like? I feel like the scene from basketball.
He died of heat.
They
He
moved
died
to
of heat.
Los Angeles where there are no lakes.
He died of heat.
Jazz moved
All
to
right, we'll
Utah.
come back to the poor
They
people
don't allow
chat in a
music.
bit. Damn it! I wish I could remember the name of the. It was a play on words.
Yeah, I mean all the good
Fuck!
ones are.
I was too busy throwing multiple plates up on the bench press to remember. Anywho, the games yesterday largely sucked. Huge BBCs. But the one game of note, I suppose, because the game yesterday really sucked. The Bears made it at least interesting to save the day because the other two games just sucked all the way. To your point, frankly, to be honest. And then the Bears, did you watch that game? The Bears, down the ball with 30 seconds and a timeout, only got one more playoff. They just needed to get in field goal range. They wasted 26 seconds. There was 26 seconds on the clock when he was tackled, and they got one playoff after that. Never used a timeout.
Bears got called for holding, I think, 3 times in that drive. They had a long completion where it looked like, oh, man, they might actually beat the Lions. No, of course, it's a holding call. Every play, there's some kind of penalty. They pick and choose when they want to call them. It's stupid.
Do you think the NFL is fixed? Do you
Not
think there's a
fixed,
level
but
of
it's
fix?
corny. Like, I wish they would just say, like, unless, like, it's just such an obvious bad play, call it. Like, that's what they do in college. Like, okay, holding. Well, they hold almost all the time. They have hands with fingers. Like, what are you supposed to do? But, yeah, like, they're calling, like, random shit all the time that changes the complete outcome of the game. So, yeah.
There has
at
been...
the end of the game, just don't get sacked. The coach deserved to get fired. Like,
yes.
Don't get sacked here. It's second down. We're in field goal range. Just don't turn it over and get sacked. What's he do? He gets sacked, and then he's staring around. They don't have a play called, which that's bad coaching. You have to have a play already called. Hey, in case I get sacked or in case we get tackled for a loss, quickly, we need to get to the line and run this play because it's third down and we can't spike the ball. Yes, they had a timeout. It would have been coaching malpractice to call a timeout right away because now you're running a play. You're obviously not going to get the first down, but if you run a play, now you're sprinting your entire field goal unit out onto the field with the clock running to try to kick a long field goal. You would never do that. So bad coaching is the big takeaway there is have a play call in case you get sacked. Bad job that they didn't. And then I don't know what the hell Caleb Williams is doing. He was like nonchalantly getting into the line, barking orders. Like you only have to tell one receiver to run an out route and throw it to him really quick.
Or call. They had a timeout.
Right. Well, that's the thing. They had a timeout, but what are you going to do? You have to run another play and then sprint the field goal team out onto the field.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really want to do that. The odds of him making a long field goal after scrambling to get out there, it's sloppy. You want to be able to get set to kick a field goal.
Sloppy jalopy.
But yeah, that coach sucked. He deserved to get fired. He should never have been the coach this year. Everyone knew that. I think the owners were just like, if we owe this guy money for all these years, we may as well pay him. We may as well put him to work. And that was retarded.
Oh, quick. Well, not quick. It doesn't have to be quick. But I meant to bring this up earlier is more of what I meant. You haven't been on in a bit. You're, again, I'll give you the floor on the Mets. A hell of a bit of a magical run there.
Oh, it's awesome.
Some couple golden weeks
all
there.
I could think about during that was like, man, I'd want to be on Sports Mask.
Yeah, people claim. A lot of people texted me.
Oh, I just want to be talking Mets with the boys.
And what did you think of the last month or two of that season? And what are we doing? Are we getting Soto? Do you want Soto? Do you want Pete? What's going on?
I think if it's strictly money, like we definitely get Soto. And that's what.
It seems like he wants to come move across. Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, I really don't think he wants to be on the Yankees, which is like kind of against what Yankee fans think. But I really don't think he wants to be on the Yankees. I think that Judge is too polarizing, and I just don't think he really liked Yankee fans. And he's legitimately thinking about going to the Red Sox. He gets along with Devers is what I'm hearing.
That's what's coming over the wire.
That's what I'm hearing through my sources, that he really likes Devers.
Ray Rice told you that?
No. I know other sports guys besides Ray Rice.
Who else do you? Paul Bissonnette?
No, that's your boy.
Fag. You can say that now. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing he gets along great with Devers, and he might seriously go to the Red Sox, which would suck. But I think he's gonna go to the Mets. At the end of the day, I think it's just if he wants money, we're gonna give you the most money. You're still in New York.
It feels like the Mets. There's been a lot of
smoke.
smoke. I haven't seen anything real. Personally, I don't have the references like you have, but it just
We're
feels.
gonna spend a lot this winter. Like the Mets are gonna sign a lot of.
We
guys.
finally got a good Jew up top, so
Yeah,
that's
we're
what you
gonna
need to
sign a lot of
succeed.
guys. Free agency doesn't start until Soto picks a team, and then free agency starts.
How about Cohen's daughter? Seen her?
No, I feel like you told me this last time I was on the show. I feel like
Sophia.
is she hot or is she like hot because her dad has a shit ton of money? Is she hot?
She's just a classic JAP, as they call her,
Classic
Jewish
name.
American princess.
Yeah.
Anywho, sports. All right.
Yeah, Mets are gonna be good. We're gonna sign some serious pitching.
We need reliefers.
We're gonna sign guys. I can't wait. We're so far under where our cap number was.
Did
last
you
year.
see the story bringing it back to football? And then it's time to get into our weekly segments and get to the picks. Have you seen a report that says after the season they're talking about Darnold and or Geno Smith coming back to the Jets?
Doesn't it piss you off that like those guys are successful?
Well, here's my thing.
hate it.
Guys, folks, Jets, everyone, millions watching. We ruined Aaron Rodgers. We ruined arguably the greatest quarterback to ever live with our coaching and office and everything. So why would I want to go back to these people who couldn't succeed with us in the first place? If they want to come back I want to bring Rodgers back another year, even though I like Rodgers, but even he's getting a little annoying even for me.
I do not want him back. I want him gone now.
How can you want him gone? He's a Hall of Fame quarterback at the end.
He was a Hall of Fame quarterback.
He has better numbers than Mahomes this year. His numbers are actually still good.
We were just talking about the Mets. Verlander and Scherzer sucked.
They did.
They were great.
Yeah, but they didn't play well. His numbers aren't bad.
He won't throw the ball deep. He won't throw the ball deep. He was literally brought here.
That's coaching.
He is
Game plan.
sabotaging the coaching. He's hijacked everything. The play calling. If you watch the games, they put nobody in motion. They run plays with zero imagination.
His offense. He's the one. They let him have the run of the roost, and he blew it.
He's literally playing backyard football against NFL scheme defenses with hours and hours of footage on him. They know what he's gonna do. He can't do anything, and he refuses to go deep. How on earth was Garrett Wilson better with terrible quarterbacks than he is with Aaron Rodgers?
Terrible game planning, terrible coaching. Let's say this. Let's be honest. They could easily, and I'm not even making excuses. This is just fact. They could easily have 3 or 4 wins the other way that are losses. They lost 2 games with easy field goals. They lost another game because of penalty. I mean, they and I know everybody says woulda, coulda, shoulda, which is true. But they really could have 7 wins as easily as they have 7 or 8 losses now.
It wouldn't even matter. They're not good. They can't beat a good team. Their defense.
So how are they not? You're a fellow Jets fan. How are we not? We have Breece Hall. We have Garrett Wilson. I mean, Sauce Gardner completely has disappeared.
Talent, yeah.
He's average at best now. I don't know what happened.
Tackle anybody. I think
So
those
what-
guys don't
what-
want to play. They're not. I don't think they like Rodgers, man. I think that he's just. Football's a big culture thing. We have a bad culture right now, and it's
Terrible. I feel like we've had a bad
Rodgers.
culture our whole lives, though.
I thought
on the Jets.
I thought we had a good culture when we had Rex Ryan. Like those guys
100%.
Like it was a different feeling. Like those guys played hard even if they weren't good. You look at them now. Even last year I felt like they at least played hard. They don't at all. They don't tackle. No. We have so much talent.
They go through the
Talented
motions.
Players that just don't play up to their potential because they don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't 100%. Feel like they're going to win. So even if we had 7 wins, if you put us in the playoffs against any legitimate playoff team, we're going to lose.
I agree. I've said that before. It looks like this whole year they just come and show up and go through the motions and go home. I agree. I ranted about it last week a bit. I would absolutely take Rex Ryan back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
The players love him, and at the end of the day, everybody brings up all this other shit, all this other noise. At the
He
end
was
of
the Jets, man. That guy.
the players
is a
love him.
Jet. His dad.
To
was
your
the coach
point.
of the Jets too, so it's like a legacy thing.
Right.
Like he gives a shit. It means something to him. And it's like that in any business. If you don't give a shit, if you're the boss and you don't really give a shit, you're not going to be good at your job.
Fact. All right, it's time for it's going to be your favorite segment. We got college football scores. We're going to go through Stansel's power rankings going into week 13, and then we're going to go through. We'll go through the picks.
All right.
Usually, maybe we'll quickly go through the games last week. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's pull up the college. And I don't look at these ahead of time. I do this live.
College football.
We're laughing at college. Here we go. And I don't look at these ahead of time. It's just every week. Here we go. Week 12. Last week.
There was upsets last week.
Yeah.
Ole Miss lost. That was a big upset. They were coming off a big win too, where they beat, I believe, Alabama.
Well, this is my segment. Here we go. Let's see. Ohio State 38, Indiana 15,
That was a big game.
SMU 33, Virginia 7, Miami 42, Wake Forest 14. This is a fun one. Georgia 59, UMass 21. Fun game. Oh, here's another fun one. Tennessee 56, UTEP nothing. Clemson 51, the Citadel 14. Texas 31, Kentucky 14, South Carolina 56, Wofford 12, Notre Dame 49, Army 14, Oklahoma, that was the upset, Oklahoma 24, Alabama 3.
Yeah, big upset.
Kansas State 41, Cincinnati 15.
Yeah, I mean, all right, so Ohio State, Indiana,
defend that.
those are two playoff teams. They're both going to be in the playoff. Indiana has been great this year. Great. They're
Sucks.
a great team. They have a new coach. They're awesome. They're going to be in the college football playoff.
I can't
Ohio
wait.
State beat them. Ohio State's Ohio State. Their legacy program. That was big for Indiana to have that game. What else? Oh, who else would say? Tennessee, playoff team. You named a lot of playoff teams beating a lot of scrubs. UMass put up 21 against Georgia. That's a big deal for UMass. Georgia has no business allowing UMass to score 21 points. They did. Sure, they blew them out. That's still a win for UMass. Like I said, there's like 160 schools playing college football. They play some scrubs. These guys don't have the money that some have. I mean, with the NIL stuff now, these guys literally have like $20 million payrolls on players.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing, which is crazy. All right,
If you're good at something, get paid for it.
I allowed you to make your point. We can agree to disagree.
It's gonna be the same thing as baseball. Baseball's a professional sport, and there's small market teams and there's large market teams. There's owners that are billionaires, and none of it's fair.
Shout
the
out to
Dodgers
Brooklyn
are gonna have a
Cyclones.
payroll that's like 8 times the Royals, and the Royals were in the playoffs this year. Like, it's just stupid. It's not fair. But baseball is college football. So if you hate college football for being so
I'm going to name this episode Baseball is College Football.
Baseball is college football. Major League Baseball is college football.
There you go.
There's
Rack
teams
'em.
that have a lot of money and can get the best players. And then there's teams that rely on
Baseball
just
is all right.
It
I think I
is.
may name this episode Baseball.
baseball is college football.
All right, ready?
Haves and have-nots.
Stansel power rankings. I do this every week. These are my power rankings because Stephen A. Smith is a retard and Mongo Bongo and terrible. And here's my top 5. You're welcome to give your top 5 after or comment on my top 5. Starting at 5, I have the Bills at 5. I saw on some of these they have a 2 or 1 even get, and you're talking about Josh Allen leading the MVP race. I don't know if I'm watching a different team.
I don't see that.
I don't see it either. I don't see it, but I'm giving them Bills at 5. That's still high honors to get a Bills at 5 from Jim Stansel.
Yeah.
Eagles at 4, Ravens at 3. Obviously,
They play this week.
huge game
gonna
we'll
be
get to
awesome.
in a minute. Big game. I got the Lions at 2, and people are gonna kill me, and I'll defend it as soon as I still got the Chiefs at 1. Here's the thing, folks. Everybody, I see all these different rankings. Everybody, the Chiefs at 2, 3, 4. Everybody's giving the Lions one. The Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. They've been there. They've been to the top of the mountain. They have one loss against an AFC that is far superior, aside from a couple teams in the NFC. They play AFC teams. I absolutely will die on the hill, at least this week, of keeping the Chiefs at 1. I don't understand these people dropping the Chiefs. DeAndre Hopkins, they have a Pro Bowl wide receiver they got for nothing with one of the great quarterbacks of the current era. And I think people just forget about the Chiefs because they make it look so easy. Kelsey has yet to even show up this season. He's healthy. I think the Chiefs will be just fine. The Lions are at 2. I'm not taking any away from the Lions. What an offense. But I have to keep the Chiefs at 2. Play in a few minutes here. Would you care to comment on Jim Stansel's top 5 power rankings?
So I would say that if your rankings are based on record and their accomplished,
they're ranking on power. They're ranking on power.
You're ranking on past accomplishments. Yes, they're defending Super Bowl.
No, but that's who they are. They're Super Bowl champions. They have the moxie.
2-time defending Super Bowl champions. But yeah, they had games they should have lost, could have lost. The Panthers played them tight, and the Panthers are fighting for the first pick in the draft.
Well, the Giants are fighting for the first pick now.
Beat them early in the season. The Chiefs are a talented team. I don't think they're the best team in the NFL. I do not think they are going to win the championship. I think they're the 3rd best team in the AFC. I think the Ravens are better, more talented, would beat them on a neutral site or even in Kansas City. And the Bills are surprisingly good. I didn't think they would be that good. I think they had addition by subtraction with Diggs being gone. Mm-hmm. They had receivers step up. I think Amari Cooper was like the sneakiest trade of all time.
Yep.
And their defense plays well. And I think that I think their coach stinks and their kicker stinks. And despite all that, they're still a 2-loss team.
Who's your number 1 team? The Lions?
I think you have to put the Lions number 1. They're so dominant. I mean, the game against the Jaguars, they scored a touchdown every single time they had the ball. And that's not college football. They're playing against another professional team. They scored a touchdown every single time they had the ball. That's insane. And their culture, big culture guy, Dan Campbell.
Big culture.
Everyone made fun of him when he came in. He's like, oh, we're going to bite your kneecaps. And he said like weird shit. But like he's just a tough guy. And he's like, I just want my team to be tough guys.
Tough
make it so that
guys.
we're all tough guys, smart guys. We'll figure it all out.
And we know we love guys here. All right. Well, we've come to the port of the show later than usual because we've had such spirited conversation.
I think the Eagles are overrated too. I think the Eagles will be exposed.
Well, I think we're going to find a lot out. We're going to find. The tequila's taking hold.
I think Jalen Hurts is not that good. I think
tequila.
Saquon is hiding a lot of issues that the Eagles have. Just by being
Saquon may go for 2,000 yards.
I think he's MVP. I think it's stupid that quarterbacks are the only people that win MVPs.
Agreed.
It makes no sense. McCaffrey should have won MVP last year, I think.
Yeah, and he's white, so even more reason he should win MVP. Anywho, here we go, folks. Play the fucking pick music. It is week 13 of the NFL. 3 games down, 1 to go that we can throw on right in the background here for us now. We'll get right into it. Folks, week 13 of the NFL. I'm 28 games over 500 in my non-spread pool on the year. Stancil Stradamus. Feel free, by the way, throw in this gentleman actually wins when he gambles. Unlike me, I haven't gambled in months because I just keep losing everything. So feel free to throw in any parlays. This is betting for. This is sponsored by DraftKings, by the way.
Parlay guy.
Coming up basically right now, 3 o'clock, we have the Raiders going to Kansas City. Kansas City is minus 12.5 at home. Get us started, Mr. Bartender.
Oh, man. This is... I'd rather be playing Fortnite than watching this game. I'm probably not going to watch. Just don't care. I don't like either team. I don't like Mahomes. Kelsey stinks. Fantasy team stinks.
How about my fantasy
I don't care,
team?
but I think the Chiefs will probably beat up on them, I guess. I don't see the Raiders, like, really scoring.
How about my
Bowers is the
fantasy
man.
team? How about my
Your
fantasy,
fantasy team is elite this year.
11-1.
I think that it was me putting up the
dues.
buy-in. Yeah.
Yeah, so for that,
covering the
I
buy-in.
touched on it in the past, but yes, I did not pay my $200 buy-in for this league because I just didn't feel like it at the time. Mr. Bartender put up the money, which I will pay, obviously.
I
after
said
winning.
this guy needs to be in the league.
He's got to
Or
be
we
in the
don't
league.
have a league.
They call me the straw. They call me the straw because I stir the drink.
Yeah. The
And
glue that holds us together.
11-1 in one of the most hollowed fantasy leagues in the nation, which makes it in the world, frankly. Which, again, in the world makes it in the universe. Since I don't know if anybody else.
Hands down the best football draft ever.
I talked about it.
Every other league because
Yeah.
our draft is so good.
I talked about it after our draft here on the show, but we have a wench every year who serves us drinks.
At least
At
a wench.
least one wench.
Sometimes two.
They're usually very dumb and very voluptuous. Who was it? Who was it this year?
What do we have this year? We had
Why am I blanking?
yeah.
I
Who's
gotta
the
pull up
wench?
my pictures.
Jesus, forgetting. Oh, we had Adriana. Blonde. Adriana was the car girl from Brennan.
I got to look at my pictures that I sneakily.
Blonde. We had her doing shotguns with us. She's a good kid. Big fan.
Shotguns every 2 rounds. Coke corner, marked with duct tape. Really, truly, no one else does it like that. And we were way ahead. Now every league is like all gay, and they have all the marketing to, you know how it is. They market all these.
I hate every other live draft I'm in. I don't want to be in. It's a classic pick right there.
Why the hell? I don't have pictures of this broad.
It's a bad job. I mean, I know.
Maybe I was relying on the chat. I was just trying to remember what she looked like. All right. Anyway, who'd you pick? -12 Chiefs -12.
I guess I'm taking. If I was gonna make a bet, I don't even know what the over/under is. Just give me
Over
the
under
under.
is
Give me the under.
42.5.
Give me the under. There's not going to be that many points scored.
Looks like a cold day. We have it on here in the background.
What else is new? Give me the under. There's just not.
And here
the Chiefs
comes
don't
the-
score like that, and the Raiders can't score like that. And doing a
Sebastian
playoff
Janikowski is about to kick the ball off.
Brock Bowers over receptions. I don't even know what his reception total is. But,
Like that. Very nice.
Chiefs are going to
Oh,
be.
it's windy.
Yeah, it's
The
windy.
ball fell off the tee. I love when that happens.
It's good for the under.
Shout out Steve Capitelli, Stanford High kicker. Missed a big field goal against West Hill and we lost senior year. I'll never forget.
He missed a lot of kicks that game. Tell me the story. Tell me the story.
We're looking at the wench. I don't even remember this girl. Keep going. Let me see her face. She was very nice, I remember. What was she wearing? I don't really remember, but I remember she was nice and hot.
It was
So
a
that's
blur.
good.
There's a lot of shotguns, man.
Give me the Raiders plus the 12.5. The Chiefs win, the Raiders cover. Let's move on. I actually have a weird feeling this might be a close game here. We have it on in the background.
Division games. A lot of points.
Division games are always a little tighter. I know the Raiders suck cock, but yeah. Anyway, let's move it on. Colts at the Patriots. What a piece of shit. Patriots, if it wasn't for the Giants, they'd clearly be the worst team in the league. Patriots are getting 2.5 at home against the Colts.
I guess.
Colts minus 2.5.
Boring game.
Yeah, terrible. Give me the Colts minus 2.5. We're not spending time on that game. What could have been something is now really nothing because Joe Burrow and the Bengals are just having an off year. Nothing coming of this. We have the Steelers going into Cincinnati. Cincinnati will be trying to rain on the Steelers parade. The 8-3 Steelers playing the 4-7 Bengals in the Natty, where they put chili on top of spaghetti and call it a meal.
Ick.
Bengals -3 at home.
Yeah.
Bengals are favored.
I think the Bengals are gonna pump them up.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, where is this coming from? Am I missing something?
No, I think the Steelers are.
I know the Steelers have been
I think
overachieving.
their record is. Yeah, I think their record's a little inflated. Russell Wilson's not playing bad, but he's not playing great. Joe Burrow's been lights out the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Has
They're
he?
Losing. Yeah, they're losing some of these games. That was a hell of a throw right
Great
there.
throw, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, the Bengals offense is.
As you're a
clicking
quarterback,
right
so you can respect throws like that.
Yeah, of course. I got a tipped cap when I see it.
Tell them how good of a. I used to be a running back in the pickup games, wasn't it?
Yeah, all stuff, baby.
you.
But yeah, I think the Bengals are. I think 3 is an easy line. I think you take the Bengals. You can sprinkle it on an alternate line. I'll probably buy it up to 6.5 just to get some plus money.
I love buying the points, even though I haven't bet in 2 months because I don't have any extra money because people don't super chat and Venmo me.
Super chat him.
Please,
Parlay
super
fund.
chat. I feel like this is a bit of a trap on the spread way. They're begging you to take the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers are 8-3, playing a 4-7 team, and they're getting 3 points. It's very hard for me to not pick the Steelers and the points. So I'm going to do it. Give me the Steelers plus the 3. Even if it's close, hopefully that 3 covers. The over-under here is 47.5. Slam that under in half until you put it through a table. The AFC North games are always low scoring. So absolutely, I can't believe that spread is 40. Absolutely put your wife's mother's house on the line for that under 47.5 in the Steelers-Bengals. The Chargers are going to Atlanta. 7-4 Chargers playing the 6-5 Falcons. Turns out to be an interesting game. It's essentially a pick 'em. The Falcons are getting 1 point at home.
That's interesting. Getting a point at home.
+1 Falcons.
Falcons were really bad last week. I don't know. I thought the Falcons were supposed to be pretty good. The Chargers would be better, but not great. And that's a guy I would literally just stay away from that. I mean, either one of these teams could win. But if you're giving me a point at home in a close game,
Yeah, I agree. If you have the choice, I wouldn't bet it at all. For the sake of the show, we're forced to pick this game. I've been low on the Falcons all year. I know people have talked highly of them all year. I've never seen it. I don't know. I'll die on the hill. I think the NFC is pretty weak this year. So a 6-5 doesn't. And by the way, we can look at that division or not, but that division is totally up for grabs. What is that? The NFC South?
Yeah.
Is that what they? It's up for grabs in every mediocre way you can imagine. Who was it? The Falcons, the Buccaneers, the Saints, and well, obviously the Panthers might be the worst team in the history of
Saints
the
stink.
NFL.
They fired their coach already. Buccaneers injury problems.
I think the Chargers. I'm going to go Stancil-Stradamus here. I think the Chargers blow them out. I think this is the culmination of the Falcons playing an easy schedule. The Chargers with their, is it Jim or John Harbaugh? I don't fucking ever know the difference. Who gives a fuck? They have a oh my God.
John Harbaugh coaches the
Ravens. Okay, so Jim, Big Jim. Give me the Chargers there, -1, pick them. And let's move the fuck on. Geno Smith and the Seahawks come on back to the worst stadium in the NFL, which is the Meadowlands. And what is it called, actually, that stadium? MetLife. MetLife Stadium. It looks like a chic razor. It sucks. What a terrible... The juxtaposition of how great Citi Field is and what a great job they did with Citi Field, the sight lines anywhere in the stadium. Total opposite at MetLife Stadium for those who haven't been there. Maybe the worst stadium, up there with the new Yankee Stadium for the worst sporting venues I've ever been in.
And again, just circling back, which is why college football is way better. We're not sharing stadiums with each other. The Jets and Giants share a stadium.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Hall of Fame pictures. We take out our Hall of Famers and put in your Hall of Famers in the picture frames and we switch the
Did they do that? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's
so
fucking
gay.
crazy. It's so stupid. It's just a shell. It's not an actual home to anybody. It's a shell, and they decorate it like
It's the home of a lot of
It's
dead
fucking
people
terrible.
who crossed the mafia.
Yeah.
Oh, Hopkins.
It's terrible. MetLife is terrible. Jets and Giants, they're New York teams.
Oh, they said my life is terrible. It's terrible.
MetLife in my life, terrible. Just hollow shells. Both of us.
Yeah, Huss. This is a true pick'em. Jets are getting half a point at home. I'll go first on this one because I have to take the Jets here. I think I can see the Jets finally getting an easy win here, actually. Obviously, we talked about it. We're not going to get into it. They've massively underachieved with the talent they have this year. I think there's nothing to play for anymore. They're not going anywhere. There's zero pressure. Not that there was much before. Geno Smith coming home. I think the defense gets after it finally. Defense, by the way, they got to pay the price too. They broke more than bent at many key times. I know they still have decent numbers, but for a team that's supposed to have one of the best defenses in the league, shame on the Jets defense. Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets at home. Fuck it.
We lose this game, and we lose it pretty bad. Walker, honestly, we lose to teams that stink. The Seahawks aren't that bad.
6-5.
We can't. Yeah, our cornerbacks are terrible. Their wide receivers are great. Their running back is a bruiser, and we can't tackle, so we have no shot. Our offense won't put up any points in the first half. We might put up some late. We get beat by 14.
Rack you. The Texans, the fading, by the way, the fading CJ Stroud and the Texans traveling to Jacksonville. The 2-9 Jags. The Jags are getting 3.5 at home.
Yeah, Texans win this game. I know it's a divisional game. Texans are going to be better now. They got Collins back. That guy's top 3.
Nico Collins, Tank Dell.
Yeah, they're good. Joe Mixon is the fucking man this year. So many running backs on new teams are just the man this year. Mixon.
Mixon is
Saquon.
Sorry, we have the game on in the background. We're men.
Mixon, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. There's just guys on new teams that are just dominating.
I'm with you on this one. Give me the Texans minus the 3.5 on the road. I just don't think. Some games they trick you with these shitty teams at home. I think this one is straight up. I think the Texans cover that 3.5. The Vikings are the 9-2 Vikings. Sam Darnold-led Vikings are at home hosting the fetal alcohol syndrome faced Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. His mother clearly was drinking and drugs when she was in utero.
Why?
I say it every week. I pick these Arizona games. Eyebrow sitting low over the eyes, big moon face, a wide grin. Sure signs of fetal alcohol syndrome, and a very, very low IQ quarterback, Kyler Murray, and he's very small for his position. Yes, Kyler Murray had fetal alcohol syndrome. Kyler Murray's mother did drinking drugs while he was in utero, and I'll die on this hill. I'll tell you who won't die on the hill will be the Cardinals with the fetal alcohol syndrome quarterback known as Kyler Murray. He'll be getting 3.5 on the road, and not only will he cover, they're going to win straight out on the overrated Vikings. Rack me.
I think the Vikings D is great. I could see the Cardinals winning outright. 9-2 just feels like they're not supposed to be 9-2.
Yeah.
So just mathematically, they need to lose a game or 2 or 3 coming up. So I'll take the Cardinals with the points too. Why not?
There we go. Now we're having fun.
The Cardinals with the points.
But he does have fetal alcohol syndrome, right? He is low IQ, right?
Is he? I don't
Yeah.
know. He's a gamer. I know he likes video games and stuff. He's a sick athlete.
I
man.
mean,
He's a
you're
great
proving my point.
Great baseball player. Baseball, hardest sport to be good at.
Oh, you love baseball. I was an all-star. Not a big,
Hard to be good at baseball.
not a big deal. Well, you were great, but you were a pitcher. Is that right? What was your favorite pitch to throw? What was you need a strikeout? Did you play 7 innings?
Throwing a hook, baby. I'm throwing
The hook. A slide piece or a hook? Ooh. Now let's see. Show us. I don't have a ball here. I won't pull my pants down, but show us your grip.
all different.
Show the grip.
All different.
Show the folks at home. You know how cameras work?
Oh, sorry. I'm like
Claw. I bet that's what took care of the Casey's girl too, huh?
snapping
Is that how you got that girl from Casey's, the claw?
there. I think over Casey's just. I never go up to a girl and hit on her. I just went up to her and was like, "Hey, you looking for somebody?" No, actually,
She
I
came
picked-
to you, didn't she?
I made a comment in true Eric Zeiss fashion. I was a smart ass, and she grabbed a chair from the bar and brought it up to the high top table, which didn't have chairs.
Best table, by the
And
way.
I said to her, "Hey, thanks for cleaning up."
Right.
And I was in there. You know,
Yeah, you're in there,
They
alright.
like that. There's a little bit of a you know?
Yeah, they're dumb. The Titans, the 3-8 Titans, women are dumb. The 3-8 Titans are traveling to the Washington Redskins. Now, before we get to the picks here,
Definitely Redskins.
definitely Redskins. Have you seen the news? Have you seen the news that they're in talks of bringing back Chief?
Are they going to be the Redskins again?
No, they're not bringing back the name, but they are in talks.
2.5.
They are in talks about bringing the logo back. The guy basically looks like me during the summer.
So
Nice. Jethro just did an amazing athletic
They're going
feat.
to bring the Redskin logo back, but not. It's
Redskins.
still racist to say Redskins.
I feel like it is kind of racist. I like saying it because it's fun. I like saying a lot of racist things. And one word I can't even say on this show.
Commanders makes no sense grammatically.
No.
Commander is a solo position. So
Call them
one commander.
Washington Comanches. Call them the Comanches.
They'll say that's racist too. The Indians.
No, the Comanches are a tribe. First tribe to learn how to use it.
Indians. Now you can't be Cleveland Indians. You got to be the Guardians. Again, weird.
Great book, Blood and Thunder, about the Comanches. Unbelievable book. Anywho, the Titans are going to the Washington Redskins, those filthy Indians that we stole this country from and gave them smallpox. They wouldn't have done, let's be honest, folks, they would not have done anything with it. What were they going to do?
We would definitely not have
They were-
Chipotle.
No.
Yeah.
True savages. We saved the country. We're saving America January 20th of the inauguration. The Titans are getting 5.5 on the road in the capital, the hive, the swamp of D.C.
I feel like everybody's gonna say, "Oh, get right game for the Redskins after being embarrassed last week against
Right.
the Cowboys. Titans stink. Blah blah blah." The Redskins win this game, but they probably don't cover 5.5. They probably win it by 3. Take the points.
I have to say I do agree with that take. I'm taking the Titans and the points for the same reason. I think the the Redskins win. I'm sorry, the Filthy Savages win. I think talk about a gay name, though. Titans might be the gayest name in football.
Terrible. Oilers. What was wrong with the
Oilers.
What was racist about that?
The Tennessee Frackers.
There's no oil there?
The Tennessee solar panels.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. We're going to make it fucking great.
PC, bro.
Hell yeah. Let's buy a Tesla, even though it takes 90,000 pounds of coal to make one battery. Anyhow, we got the Buccaneers at 5-6 going to the lowly Panthers at 3-8. The Panthers are home and getting 5.5. Go ahead. It is a who gives a shit game.
Who gives a shit? I like Baker Mayfield a lot.
I do too. I've come all the way around on him. I used to
big
hate him.
Baker guy. I just think he's probably like the least athletically gifted quarterback in the NFL.
He's white. You
And
could just say he's white.
No, well, yeah, he's certainly white, but he's just like the least like. You look at him, and you're like, that guy's not a pro athlete. But
Right. And he's got a wide
does.
head. He's got a bit of a moon
who
face.
gives a shit?
He
Like,
might have
that's-
fetal alcohol syndrome
That's
as
a
well.
guy that would have been a cool Jets quarterback. Like I would have liked that guy. You know, like
They would have ruined him.
Zach Wilson was always a pussy.
Was Zach Wilson stuff?
Yeah, like
And his
he
mom
always
was
gonna
hot.
be a pussy. Like Sam Darnold was like, all right, I guess he's like good now, but like he was kind of like a weirdo.
He's a game manager
He
like
was
Brock
just
Purdy.
A weird guy. Geno Smith didn't look like a quarterback when he drafted him. I remember saying like, I don't think this guy looks like an NFL
Geno Smith
quarterback.
looks like that
like
alien
decent.
from
No, it looks like the Geno Smith always reminded me of like the Goomba from Super Mario.
Goomba from Super Mario or that guy from, what was it, Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Small
Folks
head.
at home.
Small head.
Small head. Probably a huge guy because he's black. The Buccaneers getting -5.5. Give me the Buccaneers. The Panthers are fucking terrible.
Panthers are playing better though. It's like
They're playing
shout
better,
out to their quarterback.
Now, fuck their Bryce Young.
Bryce Young's looked better, man.
I
He's like,
said
he
last-
got benched for a little bit. He came back. He like looks better.
I said last year, and I say it all the time, Bryce Young wouldn't be great in the league, and I've been right. Santos I don't trust, especially USC and the big. I don't trust a lot of these big school quarterbacks because remember, there's a, and I think even you admit this. On the big schools, there's a couple NFL players, maybe a handful at best, And then it's all high school all-stars, these guys who they're going to have real jobs in a year or two. So these big school I would much rather a middle school, middling school, not a middle school. I don't want an 8-year-old playing quarterback. I want middle school boys to do something else, but I don't want them playing quarterback. I want them to suck my. But my point is, I don't like these quarterbacks from the big schools because they're throwing to NFL players. I would rather a Anthony Richardson or who's the guy from Washington?
Penix, Falcons.
I ain't talking. I like a Penix, all right. Anywho, I don't really know what I'm talking about. Give me the Buccaneers. The tequila's taking hold. I'm saying racial slurs. Buccaneers, give me, yeah. Anywho, Rams. The Rams, the 5-6 Rams going to the 4-7 Saints. Saints plus 2.5 at home.
Rams. It's an easy bet. Rams.
Yeah, give me the Rams minus 2.5 and let's move the fuck on. Here's your game of the week, game of the year so far, frankly. The 9-2, the 425. This will be your national game on Sunday. The 9-2 Philadelphia Eagles going to the home of the wire, Baltimore, and the Ravens, who are 8-4. Ravens -3 at home. National game Sunday afternoon. Over under is 51.5 too. If you want to weigh in on that. Bowtied, Bartender, Eric Zeiss, you have the floor.
Under 51.5. I like the Ravens to win the game. What's their 3-point favorite?
Yep.
Probably win that game by 3 anyway. The Eagles are good, and the Ravens' defense is not great. But Jalen Hurts is not great. They're riding Saquon. Yeah, I field goal fest. You know what's the bet? The every game has like over 3.5 field goals. Take over 3.5 field goals in this game. That's what I like.
Ooh, there you go. There's a freebie,
that's a free pick. That's an Eric Zeiss lead pipe lock of the week. If you want to bet that game, it's over 3.5 field goals. I do like the under, and I like the Ravens to win. I think the Ravens are a better team than the Eagles, even though their defense isn't great. Lamar Jackson's the man. He's got to win a Super Bowl, and I genuinely feel like this year the Ravens win the Super Bowl. I honestly believe that.
Jim Stansel's, third rank in the power rankings, the Ravens. If they win this game, I think they're going to be number one going into next week.
A Ravens-Lions Super Bowl would be awesome.
That would be fun. So we agree on most of this other than the scoring. I think this is a game 1st to 35 wins. I don't think either defense is great. I think both offenses are much better than their defense. I don't see either team being tight. They both played in the limelight all year, and all these guys have been around, these big players. They don't have like rookie quarterback. I have to pick the Ravens because I've stuck with my AFC boys all year. I wouldn't be surprised. I should say I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think it's out of the cards for the Ravens to win fairly handily here. It can go either way. The Eagles do have talent, but I also think they do. I think the NFC just pound for pound isn't that great. Even the better teams besides the Lions aren't that great. The Harbaugh-led Ravens. I see the Ravens winning, covering. I think it's a high-scoring game. I'm the opposite of you. I think it's a high-scoring game here. I think it's a shootout. Absolutely give me the Ravens -3. Hopefully we have a good game for all of our sake. Sunday night could be better. Roger Goodell wishes this was a better game. It sounds sexy. It's not as sexy as it sounds. You got the 5-6 49ers going up to the 9-2 Buffalo Bills, with a sneaky 9-2 Buffalo Bills. Bills favored by a touchdown at home. No hook.
Yeah, you're crazy if you don't take the points with the Niners here. You think the Bills, it doesn't matter what the Niners record is. Brock Purdy's going to play. McCaffrey's going to play. I don't know if I know the San Fran D-line is like beat up. It doesn't really matter. They'll scheme to stop Josh Allen from scrambling and do that. Have a shot. Niners cover that.
Yeah, I like the Niners with the spread. I'm not saying they're going to win, but a whole touchdown for the 49ers, who, remember, McCaffrey just came back a couple weeks ago. The record doesn't match the talent on the field at 5-6. I don't think they're
on the line. That's a good game to bet the Niners money line. Because it's probably juicy if it's a touchdown.
To keep it alive.
Yeah, like their whole season is on the line in this.
It looks like the money line is plus 270.
That's a great value. Like great value. I get about 100 and I get 270 profit. That's great value.
There you go. That's what you get with the Bowtied Bartender, folks. Somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. I don't, but I still am going to take the 49ers and the touchdown. To your point, the 49ers are a different team than they've had the first half of the season. They actually have everybody healthy. People who watch the show know I'm not a huge Brock Purdy guy. I think he's a solid quarterback. I don't think he's anything great, but he's a good game manager. And I don't, as you saw with my power rankings, I'm not saying the Bills stink or anything. I do think they are slightly overrated. Playing the AFC East, who is just fucking terrible this year for a lot of these wins. So give me the Niners and that touchdown.
You know who has the highest QBR in NFL history?
Game manager.
Highest QBR in NFL history.
Game manager. What's his exit velo? Want to talk about other dumb numbers? QB rating?
Highest
Best
NFL
Madden
history.
year. Best Madden video game year.
Michael Vick cover. Was that 04?
Who let the dogs out? What was that? I think Madden 2000. I infamously, I think it was Madden 2005.
Made Madden great again.
Did you ever
They
come
got
to
rid of franchise mode? That was
Please.
the best mode. Everything now is stupid online, microtransactions. Let me take more of your money, packs of cards, and bullshit.
I like to buy clothes.
I just want to fucking.
Your brother loves to buy clothes.
Well, skins. Yeah. Give me some.
Your brother
stuff.
loves to buy virtual clothes.
But yeah, I just want to get the boys on a sleepover and fucking pick some teams and draft. That was the best part of Madden, was having the draft,
Yes.
having your teams. Even if you didn't play a game, you just simulated the whole season. Who drafted the best team? That was the absolute highlight.
100%. And I liked it at the time, but I think it was the tipping point of the Madden games was the hit stick, because then they went down the path of all these nonsense buttons. I think it peaked 2005, 2006, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was.
'Cause I used to love Madden.
I can't even play anymore. I don't like
Nah,
it.
it's just crap.
Stop being fun. They don't put any work into it anymore, and they're trying to make it look real. But the gameplay, you have less control of the players.
Right.
And yet, how do you get rid of the franchise mode? That was the best. It's like, oh, well, they have the owner mode, but that's not the same. I want to draft with my friends. They used to have, you could pick, there could be 4 of us, and you pick 4 teams, and just those teams' players go into a draft, and then you do a draft little tournament. They got rid of that, too. Those were peak Madden years. God damn it.
St. Ranger says, go Niners. St. Rangers is a regular. Shout out St. Ranger. I just stabbed a woman to death with the knife
I
you
know
sent
no one
me.
likes betting on their own team, but the Niners money line, that's like such value, man. Like, you're
Bet
getting
it.
3-1. That means if they played the game 4 times, the Bills beat them 3 out of 4. I don't think so.
Well, back to Madden quickly, and then we got one more game to pick. I've told this story here at some point on the show, but I infamously, did you ever come to the Lax House on Fitch Street in New Haven back in the day? You ever come to any of those parties?
I feel like I did with.
I think
like,
you did.
I came to like
Yes,
Edwin,
with
when
Edwin.
CEOs and office hoes little party or something.
Yes. It was right next to the Southern Football House we always
yes.
fight with. But I remember I infamously at that house, and I remember it like it's burned into my brain. I mean, I surely have dementia in a few years. I'll still remember this. It was a fumble, and this was when I was starting to sour on Madden anyway.
Mm-hmm.
A fumble, and 3 of my players, the ball was literally, you know how slowly rolling out of bounds. 3 of my players, I watched the replay, ran over it with their hands out, didn't pick it up because 3 of them ran over the ball and just didn't pick it up. I ejected the disc from the system, broke the disc into a million pieces. I snapped it and then snapped it again, and then I punched a hole clear through my door and broke the controller as well. And that was is there any better feeling than taking the controller when these have wire by the wire and full on sledgehammering it into the ground and watching buttons fly all over? God, did that feel good?
That is
Sorry, Joe.
special ed behavior.
Woo-hoo, that's why I was there.
Yeah, that's.
And
you
boy,
punch
let
your
me tell
ticket
you,
to special
the
ed.
Broncos will be there at Mile High Stadium on Monday night. They're going to host the Cleveland Steal Your Bike Browns. The Broncos are favored by 5.5 at home. 7-5 Broncos, 3-8 Browns with their third quarterback.
I'm a big Bo Nix guy, man. I was big on Bo Nix going into this year. Bet him to win Rookie of the Year. Broncos are playing great. Defense is awesome. Browns have been playing terrible, but they got Deshaun Watson out of there. Now they're playing for a boy. King Crab Legs.
Ooh, oh yeah, King Crab Winston.
Yeah, remember stealing crab
Sure,
legs from
he's a weird guy now.
He is. He says a lot of weird
Oh,
things.
Taylor
There's
Swift
your
is on the
gratuitous
TV,
Taylor
folks.
Swift
Don't. Oh, she's
show
drinking.
her.
She's drinking whiskey. The fucking bitch. Anyway.
Yeah, okay, easily distracted Taylor Swift. Thanks for showing her.
Jethro's
Really needed that.
Jethro's wants in.
Oh, hey.
Here he is, folks. He has to make an appearance at the.
Big Jameis Winston guy. What do you think?
What do you think, Jeff?
Fantastic.
Hot take.
Probably take the Browns. Broncos shouldn't win that many games, and they have a bunch of wins. So just like when you play the math, you say, okay, the Browns got to find a win somewhere. The Broncos are due for a loss. This could be the game. The Browns beat the Broncos.
Okay, so you're taking the Browns in the 5.5.
Yes.
All right. Not a bad take. All that said, yeah, if the Browns were home in this spread, I would be on board with you. I'm taking the Broncos. I think the Broncos believe in themselves more than they probably should with their young quarterback, but I agree. You were a Bo Nix guy from the get. And Bo Nix slinging dicks. Give me the Broncos minus that 5.5. I think they win by a touchdown or more. And those are your picks for Week 13 of the NFL, of what many are calling the greatest sports show possibly in the history of, obviously in the country, and many are saying in the universe. And that's it.
They'd be right.
They'd be
The
right.
last time I was on the show, you had an epic rant. Do you remember? It was like one of my all-time favorite things where it was like, I was like, stay blessed or something, and you went on a big Fauci.
Well,
rant.
we won. Fauci's going to jail.
Fauci is going to go to jail, but it was a great rant you ended with. It was like, you were pissed about myocarditis. And
Oh, I remember something about this.
It was an epic meltdown, like just meltdown, like, and I was crying. I must have watched that clip, no lie. Like
I've been known to have a few meltdowns these days, right, Jeff? Care to comment?
Get your boosters, super boost.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was like
get more boosters.
Get as many shots as you can.
Yes.
That was great.
And listen, the holidays are coming. Get-togethers are coming. I hope and pray everyone is fully boosted out there. I personally is what they call a pure blood.
Unvaxxed.
It's crazy that I got it one time and never got it again when I see many people who have all the shots
They made
getting
fun of us, herd immunity. They laughed at herd immunity. They laughed at all that stuff.
Right.
Get as many shots as you can.
Right. I know many.
cares?
I know many people. Most people I know that have the shots, and they constantly, every couple months, are getting COVID. I'm sure it's unrelated at all. I mean, I only got it one time, and I never got a vaccine in fucking time. But anywho, that's besides the point. That's in the past. We're cleaning it up. Robert F. Kennedy is gonna cook a turkey and fucking not be able to. I Cheryl, I made a turkey on Thanksgiving and put it in the fryer. And Robert F. Kennedy needs to fucking chill with his post. By the way, it's a bit much. Do you follow him?
No, I'm not big on X. I have a.
He puts it on Instagram though too.
No, I try not to follow.
He's
those
always
guys.
touching snakes, and yesterday he's got a, I got my T-shirt tucked into my jeans.
My brother
my
reminded
wife
me who
Cheryl.
his wife is. I don't like his
Cheryl,
wife.
my wife
Yeah,
Cheryl.
I don't like her.
Yeah, she's a clout chaser,
Yeah,
fucking cunt.
I don't like her.
I don't know why I said that. She's on the show next week. My wife Cheryl. And I think it's funny. The best picture you've probably seen it with him on the plane eating McDonald's. If I can look at this after all this bullshit about Lindsay.
He definitely was not eating McDonald's. He's like, I'll take the photo, but I'm not eating this shit.
My wife Cheryl and I eating McDonald's on a plane. The plane is actually made by the thing about linseed oil is what they used to use on McDonald's. Now they use plant-based. The sunflower seed oil is what's making everyone fat. And anywho, we did it. 96 hour and a half. This may be one of our longest episodes in history. You want to plug anything? Sign of the Whale.
Sign of the Whale. We got
most
20 grand in Christmas decorations up right now. It looks amazing. We're definitely holiday headquarters.
Great place to bring your bitch or a bitch that you want to fuck.
Yeah, no, it's good for that.
Bitches
Saturday brunches. Bring the wife and kids. We do a lot of family-friendly events and stuff. Come check out Sign of the Whale, Stanford, Harbor Point. Fantastic.
Now, do you want any of these filthy cretins to follow you anywhere or no?
You're welcome to follow me. The _Bowtied_ Bartender on Instagram. I don't really do Twitter. I don't check my Facebook anymore. I'm not that old anymore.
Right.
It's not that old anymore. It's old people that use it now. I'm not
Facebook
that old
for
yet.
the Facebook
I don't
for
use
yeah.
it a lot anymore.
Oh, Shaq's doing JCPenney commercials now. Wonderful, because that's
Shaq called out someone for a fight too recently. Did you see that? He said he wanted to fight.
Shaq said he wants to fuck me up. I'll fucking break his black ass in half if he wants
to fight somebody. Jake Paul? No, not Jake Paul. He said he wanted to fight somebody.
Wow, that's a good sports story.
I thought it was cool. It's like I'll watch Shaq fight someone on TV. If I can watch Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, I can watch Shaq fight somebody.
I'll die on this hill. Shaq Diesel was a good rap album. Fuck you if you disagree with me. You ever listen to that back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Actual solid album. I have it on my phone.
It's like
still.
Eddie Murphy was a good singer. You forget about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Stancil Jim on Twitter and Instagram. Will I don't know if Ski Mask isn't dead. He's been going down a deep spiral again, even though he started a new job. He's fighting with fans on the show apparently last night. Oh, forget all that. So anyway, my point was we're going to do a show tomorrow. At least that was the plan. Patreon.com, Ski Mask Media. 4 or 5. I just uploaded all this shit. I got a charger for my computer, folks. I still need a new computer. But I was able to purchase a relic on Amazon. Thankfully, that's the only reason I was able to do a show today. My point is I was able to upload all the shit that we've been waiting on to Patreon. I still can't upload to Spotify. Spotify and Apple Podcasts because I need a new computer. So feel free to send me a computer, anyone. And that's it. Fuck super chats. Patreon is $3. You get everything. Do it just as support, and on top of it, you get nonsense. Mostly, a lot of me walking around the city these days, which is always I always get into something, yell at strangers.
Yeah, I want to go to the city for one of these podcasts.
Come on down.
Yeah, I want to podcast in the city one day.
Sure.
I like going to the city. There's some fucking nuts jobs out there. My dad, I was going to go see the Creed concert tonight. My dad's like, oh, be careful in the city. I was like, I look for this
Where's
shit.
Creed tonight?
MSG.
Whoa.
And I just saw them play in Bridgeport with my brother, and it was fucking amazing. Best concert I've been to in years.
One of my lady callers saw them in Mass this summer. Same thing. Said it was fucking amazing.
They still fuck, yeah. They have way more hits than you even remember.
They really do.
And yeah, shout out to Creed. Go see them if they're live.
Shout out Creed. They watch.
They're the Eras tour for like 35-plus-year-old white guys.
Yeah, 35 plus.
It's our Eras tour right now, and Scott Stapp still fucks. He puts on a show. You get around like the goofy like God bullshit that he does.
Right.
Don't
songs. Mind the God stuff.
Yeah, it's just like whatever. Like we don't really need it, but like he means it and like he means well. But they're awesome live. Like awesome.
There you have it.
plus.
Rat Creed.
Yeah, anyway, I like going to the city. I like people that try to fuck and, weirdos. Yeah. I like calling out weirdos when they're weird. I'm not scared of the people in the city. I'm like,
no.
Yeah, like, please bring it on.
You got to come roll with me one day.
Yeah, I'm down to go to the city.
All right. Count all the troops and bring home the votes. We did it. You got a couple more months, you filthy illegals, and we're cleaning it up. Raka, see you next week. Enjoy. As always, folks, as always, you got football on right now. You got Sunday, you got Monday. We're in the thick of it. It's the quickest season in sports. So as I say every week, Do what you have to do to get free to watch these games. Kick your wife down a flight of stairs so she's hospitalized and out of the house. Beat your kids so they're sent to foster care. Send your mother and father to an assisted living facility. You have to be free on these Sundays to watch these games. You only live so long. You need to rid your life of all this nonsense. So get these people away from you. Whatever you have to do, slap your wife in the face so she goes to a hotel for the weekend. But make sure you're free on Sunday. Big games, unlike college football, there's sure to be some upsets. So yes, do what you have to do.
Jesus Christ.
That's it.
All right.
All right.
Happy Urban Friday.
Thank you for joining us today, sir.
Thanks for having me.
We'll
Thanks
shake
for having
hands.
me. Good job.
There
Unity.
you go. We did great. All right. Goodbye. I'm going to go roll a blunt. Goodbye.